Hey, friend, the wildly hopeful one, sit with me for a minute. There is always room here at this table, and Grace has a seat with our name on it, ready to meet us right in the middle of our stories. Welcome to Wildly Hopeful. I am your host, Brandy Dawson. This is a space for honest conversations about faith, healing, and becoming the woman of God that He is shaping us to gently be. And around here, we keep it real. Sometimes it's lighthearted and fun. We might laugh, we might cry, and yes, sometimes we're even talking about faith and our favorite jeans in the same breath. Because who doesn't love Jesus and a good pair of jeans? But even in the laughter, these conversations are rooted in something deeper: faith, health, healing, and wholeness. The kind of conversations where we can both be honest and hopeful, seen and known. Around here, we talk about the real things that shape us, the questions we wrestle with, the seasons that stretch us, the doubts we carry, the grace that keeps meeting us along the way, because life is rarely just one thing. Because sometimes it's hard and it's holy. Sometimes it's joy and it's grief at the same time. Sometimes it's light and sometimes it feels weighty. Sometimes there's peace and sometimes we're just learning to see beauty in the middle of the chaos. But friend, this is our real life. So think of this space as a grace-filled table for messy faith, where honesty is welcome, hope is still alive, and you never have to pretend you have it all together. And if you've ever found yourself listening and thinking, wait, is it just me? Girl, me too. So wherever you're listening from today, you're driving, walking, folding laundry, brushing out your lashes, or just taking a quiet moment for yourself, I'm really glad you're here. Around here, we're learning to live wildly hopeful, even in the middle of becoming. Have you ever known that you trust God, but yet you still feel afraid? Like you still feel the weight of the what if, or the tension of holding hope and grief in the same breath? Today's conversation is tender, it's honest, and it holds a kind of faith that doesn't rush healing or try to tie things up neatly. Because sometimes faith doesn't look like certainty. Sometimes it looks like staying, like loving, and like choosing joy when your heart has known loss. And if you've ever walked through grief or feared what you might lose, or wondered if you can trust God again with something this precious, stay with us because this one matters. Hey, friends, welcome back to Wildly Hopeful, a place for soft hearts, steady faith, and radical expectancy. Today's conversation is one that so many of you have been waiting for. If you listened to my first episode with Lauren Johnson, you already know her story carries something special because there's something about the way she lives her life with honesty and with depth and her faith that doesn't perform, it resonates. And today, we're stepping into even more of her story. Lauren has spent her days and nights in quiet spaces where new mothers and babies need gentle hands and steady hearts. She meets families in those raw, sacred first moments at home, helping them find rest and reminding them they don't have to walk any of it alone. She's poured her story into journals that speak life into weary souls, grown her business into a team of nurses who care for women in their most tender seasons, and opened her life in a way that feels honest, safe, and real. Through Choose Joy Nursing, she's created a space where women feel seen, cared for, and gently supported. And still, she grieves with a quiet, steady kind of hope. She's found the courage to let her story of love and loss become a lifeline for others. And most tender of all, she carries the legacy of her daughter, Lillian, a love that has not left, a life that still matters, a legacy of love. In this conversation, we talk about motherhood, about trusting God in the middle of fear, about her IVF journey, and carrying both grief and new life at the same time. And what I love most about this conversation is that nothing is rushed. There's no pretending, there's no easy answers, just real faith in real life. So, wherever you are today, whether you're holding joy or grief or somewhere in between, I'm really glad you're here. Let's get into it. All right, Lauren, I am so excited to have you back with me. I can't believe now the second time. First of all, you're the first guest that I've ever had on the show twice. Like, this is the first time.
Oh,
so you're
I'm honored.
I know, right?
That's so special.
And not only that, but when you were on the show last time, we were still Eighth and Grace, and now we're Wildly Hopeful.
Okay, I have been meaning to text you about that. I was like, wait, I want to hear all the things. Wait, why the change? I love both names.
Yeah.
Okay, I thought that.
Yeah.
I was like, we've had a change.
Yeah. Yeah. So now we're on Wildly Hopeful. And so this is
Hopeful.
Don't you love that though? Yeah. That was one of the things. And I still, I mean, we're still in the season of Eighth and Grace and all the things that meant to me. But it was like I felt the Lord shifting the season as to
that's
where.
so appropriate. I think we have to be so open to the Lord having us pivot.
Yeah.
Like, just because he called you to one thing at one time doesn't mean that's the only calling for the rest of your life.
Right.
Like, he can absolutely call you into a new season. And so that's so good.
Yeah. And it just felt like, so I did that on the 1-year birthday of the podcast, which was my birthday. So it was just like a new birth, like a new life, like changing into the season, walking into the new season. And it just feels different being Wildly Hopeful.
Oh, I love
and I'm like,
hopeful.
because all of our chats are like wildly hopeful chats, right?
Yeah.
And so, but you're the first person.
Thank you. I'm the first one on the new season.
Yes.
Okay, yay.
Yeah.
Eighth and Grace is so good, and it had such good meaning behind it, but it prompted the question of like, what does that mean? Versus wildly hopeful.
Yeah.
You're going to feel wildly hopeful just saying it. That's one thing I love about the name of my company. I didn't mean for it. I had no idea what the Lord was going to do with it. But calling it Choose Joy Nursing was really just kind of a spin on, I had a Choose Joy brand, like Choose Joy Give Grace brand.
Yeah.
Well, then I was like, okay, if I'm starting a nursing company, it's Choose Joy Nursing. One thing I've learned is we're constantly speaking Choose Joy over ourselves, over our mamas. Our mamas are saying, oh, call Choose Joy when you're pregnant, call Choose Joy. And we're saying it out loud over and over again. So saying wildly hopeful, I just like saying it.
Yeah.
It's like you're speaking it over me. I'm speaking over you. We're believing for this like wildly hopeful season or whatever the Lord has in store in heaven.
Yeah.
I mean, wildly hopeful.
Yeah.
What's to come,
Right.
it's just going to get better and better.
Yeah. And it feels so amazing even talking with you of all people about this, because it was so important to me when we were lining up a time to have this chat for it to be on Good Friday. When we decided Good Friday, I felt that piercing in my heart, because especially for you in the season of life that you have been in, and the season that I've walked through, and the season many of us are in, when things when things have looked dead and God's bringing new life in, it just felt right to have us here together.
I was like, this is going to be so good to be together on Good Friday.
Yeah.
And talk about what the Lord is doing. Like, that's what I feel like our conversations are always so hope-filled.
Yes.
And Holy Spirit-centered.
Yes.
And, like, what the Lord is doing. And so for it to be on Good Friday, for us to talk about that sacrifice, but for us to live wildly hopeful, for us to live with this hope of heaven, despite what's going on in our lives.
Yeah, despite the circumstances, in spite of. Yeah.
You have a lucky eyelash if you want to make a wish.
Do I really?
Yeah.
Well, thank you,
You're
Jesus. Yes. I used to cry when my eyelashes would fall out.
Oh my
gosh.
Because no, I'm
I was thinking about every time, like how much I had paid for them. And I was like, I want to put one of these lashes in a coffin.
You're like, I got to save it. I'm like, put it back on.
I did.
Yeah, that's so funny.
I used to put them, I had a pair, I don't even know why I'm talking about this, but I had a pair of glasses and they were in a blue Tiffany case. And you know how their cases look like the blue coffin?
Yeah.
I literally.
Actually, I don't, but
I would take my eyelashes when they would fall out and I'd put them in there anyway.
That's so
but
funny.
now, no, I'm with you. Yes, we're making a wish on that. But
yeah.
So I want to talk about all things. Lauren, you have so much going on in your life. Sometimes when I'm watching you and keeping up with you, I'm like, that's my girl. I'm just living vicariously through you.
Thank you.
And so I want to pick up from where we left off when we had you on last year. Can you believe that? It's a whole year ago.
That is so crazy.
Yeah, a whole year ago.
That's so
I want to
crazy.
pick up where we left off, and we were talking before we mic'd up about this week and what this week holds for you and the significance of this week. And I want to start there.
Yeah. So my daughter passed away April 6th of 2025. And so this year, the way it fell, literally, she got sick on March 31st. So got sick with a pneumonia, like the disease that her body had it was a pneumonia spike. So not sick with any illness or virus. It was truly just her ammonia or her disease process.
Yeah.
And so on March 31st, we woke up and knew something was off. We were hopeful. Oh, it's a bad night's sleep. She's just a baby. I mean, she's looked groggy and tired and not like herself. And so we're hopeful. Oh, she needs a good nap. She'll be fine. And then we're like, just she wouldn't really take a normal nap. Needed to be held, which I loved the contact nap, but like not her. She was an independent queen, wanted her loveys, wanted her cribby. Like you put her in her crib and she just roll over, and she was just such a little joy. But anyway, I just knew something was off. She pretty much just like woke up, not herself. And then we weren't getting back to herself, even with meds and food and all the medicine. And so typically when you run her tube feed in the morning, all those meds would bring pneumonia down and she'd go back to her normal playing business and normal self. But it didn't. And then she was throwing up, which meant she wasn't keeping her meds, and tried to nap, but we're like, and she throws up a lot. Babies spit up a lot.
Yeah.
But we tried to nap. Anyway, woke up and we're like, this isn't good. Do we call hospice, or do we want to call her genetics team and get a pneumonia check to like confirm that's what this is? And so we called them. They were like, yes, you can bring her in. And then on the drive-in, I started seeing some like seizure-like activity. And I was like, oh, sister, like, is this her pneumonia? Like, I just knew it. And they were like, I know you don't want to go to the ER. We obviously had so much trauma around that, our first experience. And we didn't want to take her to experience the ER again, more than us. Like, we will do it, but we didn't want to put her through that.
Yeah.
And so they were like, but if you go to the ER, you'll get your results faster than coming up to the lab and getting stuck and waiting your turn. Like, just go in the ER. Tell them that you are choosing hospice and you just want a pneumonia drawn.
Yeah.
Which was actually beautiful. They were so respectful. We got pneumonia drawn. We did let them look for ear infection and swab for, all the things. But other than that, I was like, no pokes and prods and catheterization, none of that. Like, we're not doing all that. Anyway, then we had a rough go at it at the hospital trying to decide the best course of action. Could we bring her ammonia down naturally without all the crazy medical interventions that would cause more harm and like potentially just be more trauma for her little body? So we attempted to try, and it just like she woke up screaming and just like wasn't even like, she knows. She was 8 months old at this time. Like, she knew who mommy and daddy was. She knew who even some of her doctors, like she knew grandparents, she knew people, and she just like would look through you and was just screaming, like neuro symptoms, like very neuro agitation. And so I was like, started crying and just said, turn everything off. We're like, I didn't say we're taking her home. I was like, just turn everything off. We just need to let her body do what her body needs to do. And like, if this is her time to go be with Jesus, because I don't know if I said it on the last podcast, but one of the things we told her in the ICU from the start is like, baby, mommy and daddy love you so much, but if you want to go be with Jesus, you don't have to be strong for us. Like, if you want to fight, we'll fight with you, but you don't have to be strong for us. Like, it always, like, being a nurse is always like, people want people to hold on and they don't give them permission. And I really do believe in giving your loved ones permission to pass when that time comes. And like, you have to mean it.
Yeah.
And we meant it with every bone in our body. And not that we wanted to lose our baby, but that we did not want her to have to feel like she had to be strong. She's a baby.
Yeah.
For us. And so I walked in her hospital room one morning and said that immediately. And Wilson, like, kind of, the room's small. So when I say walked off, he walked 2 steps and sat on the couch and started to cry. And he said, thank you so much for saying that. He said, you have no idea how bad I needed to hear that. But I feel the same way, just didn't have the words to put towards it. And it just came out of my mouth. Like, I was like, baby, you don't have to be strong for us. If you want to go be with Jesus, that's okay. And she ended up being like wanting to fight, and we fought with her and we stood with her and then the Lord started putting things on our heart about savoring her and, hospice and like, let's just let her be a baby. Let's get her home. Let's kiss her and cuddle her and love on her with as much time as the Lord gives us with her. And we ended up having this like beautiful, sweet life. She ended up living for like 9 full months for anybody who doesn't know her story or didn't hear the last podcast. But anyway, this week in particular was that 1 week from when we left the hospital and took her home to when she ascended to heaven, like when her spirit left this earth and got to go be with Jesus. And so for it to fall this year, last year when she actually passed, we had her service and everything right before Easter. So like, she had passed, we had her service, and then that Sunday coming up was Easter. We went to Easter service at like the 6 a.m. one, kind of hoping to not really see many people. But then this year, it falls on Holy Week. So the week that Jesus knew what he was walking into. He was going to go be with the Father, which is so beautiful, but still he had to suffer until then. Like he knew what he was walking into. And I mean, just the weight of this week already every year is heavy and hard. And like, we're hopeful. We are wildly hopeful. But it's still sad and heavy that we had to sacrifice this perfect, spotless lamb for our sin.
Yeah.
For our crap.
Yeah.
And so Lillian is obviously not Jesus, and they're very different. But for it to fall this week.
It feels so sacred.
Oh, it feels so sacred, so holy, so special. Like this was her Holy Week where we just prayed every day over her and loved on her and kissed her and cuddled her. We got sweet moments where she would kind of wake up and be a little lucid and love on us and touch our face and give open mouth kisses. And, she went in and out throughout that whole week, but then she lived through my husband's birthday is April 5th. And so that's like going to be really, forever hard. But I remember praying and telling friends to pray, like, please don't let it be on his birthday.
Oh, yeah.
Like, he's already not one that likes to celebrate his birthday, but like, let alone if, I don't know. It's just like not then. And she wanted to live and stick around for Daddy's birthday. And so we got to celebrate him together with her. And while it was still sad, it was so sweet that she wanted to stick around. Like, she really stuck around. Yeah. And so it wasn't until Sunday, the next morning on the 6th, that we woke up and knew, like, she was significantly different, like, more in her coma state that day. And I was like, this is probably it. And around 11 that day, it was like her breathing was changing. The heart rate was slowing. Like, hospice was made aware. And I had my stethoscope out listening and just, like, praying. We were of course like crying and just praying and like blasting CeCe Winans, "Come Jesus, Come" in our house. Yeah, like it was so sacred. It was so holy. It was so beautiful. As awful as it was so beautiful to be in our own home, surrounded by flowers, and the Holy Spirit was there. Yeah, and like to be loving on her and kissing her and cuddling her all the way to heaven, all the way to Jesus's arms. And so for her just to fall asleep in Mommy and Daddy's arms and to wake up in Jesus, like.
And the hope of heaven diminished the sting, truly.
Totally.
For you guys.
For us. I know, like, we're so grateful that is how we feel. But yeah, death, where is your sting? Like, of course we're sad, but we truly believe in heaven. And I have had sweet moments where I like get to hear from her and see her. And like the Lord gives me these glimmers of hope and of heaven and of her. And she is like, he's everything, Mommy. Like, that's all we're going to be doing when we get there is adoring and worshiping him. Yeah. We're going to be like happy to see our loved ones. And of course, I'm going to like hug my baby. But like, I'm going to be worshiping him. Yeah. I'm going to be at the feet of Jesus, like crying and thanking him for heaven. And I just taken all my essential oils with me. Like, I feel like I'm going to be Mary at his feet. I'm going to just be like, I love you, Lillian, but Mommy has got a lot of thanking to do
Lauren
here.
With the alabaster box. Like, all of it's being poured out on him today. Like, I'm going to be the one sitting at his feet. Yeah. And I love that you said that God has given you glimmers of hope and you've seen her, because since the last time that you and I have even been together, we have Be Still 30A, which is also a place that I know has been very precious and holy and sacred. And you and Wilson have been so good to open that up and share it with other people. But God has shown you. I've seen even in the sunsets. And, with Lily Ann, all I can think of every time I see her precious little chubby cheeks in my mind is just literally consider the lilies. That's all I think about every time I think about her is I consider the lilies.
Oh, it's so good. And it's so... could he have been any more intentional with her? Like, we prayed over her name and we knew that verse was one of the things that like stood out to us when we named her. But then we didn't know what we were about to walk through. Right. We didn't know how much we'd actually have to consider the lilies.
Because for anyone that doesn't know your and Wilson's story with Lillian, this wasn't something that you guys had time to prepare for.
No, we had no idea. Yeah. We went into the ER completely shocked. Doctors like, oh, she's got a virus. It'll be fine. We'll admit you to a normal room. And then the next morning she like wasn't breathing right. And they're like, yeah, it was an ICU admission. Still didn't know what was going on. Yeah. We were full on about to code her, the intubation cart code cart came in. They asked us to step out so they could intubate her. We knew what that meant. We were out in the koi pond sobbing. I felt like all of Nashville could hear us crying.
Yeah.
Crying so hard and so loud and praying and crying out to God. We text our parents to come, that this is probably the end. And anyway, it was...
And had no idea.
Had no idea. Now, so in that, after like, I mean, had to be like minutes or seconds. I don't know. But we're out in the koi pond, like crying and praying and just like holding on for dear life. At like, what's happening? What's happening? Why is our baby just dying?
Yeah.
Like we literally came home.
Just came home from the hospital.
Just came home from the hospital, blissful, meal train, opening an organic champagne because mama was due a glass of wine. Right. Like something special. And I like waited for that moment. And so we're snuggling her and like having our, charcuterie and our meal train. And then it was like, something didn't feel right.
Yeah.
Something didn't feel, I mean, we literally left the house. I mean, everything as is and left for the ER. It was like, wait, why is she cold? A baby shouldn't be cold.
Yeah.
Your baby should never be cold, like physically cold. And then to take a thermometer, like a rectal temp and it say 92 degrees. We're like, okay, 1, I hope this thermometer is broken. But 2, that's just like not okay. Like even if it's 95, like that's not okay.
Yeah.
96 is not ideal. Like, you know what I mean? And so left for the ER. Anyway. It's been such a journey. But the Be Still 30A has been such a sweet gift.
Yeah, and time away.
Oh my gosh. And just abundantly more than we could think or ask. Like, we're so blown away. We're so humbled. We're so honored to get to invest in it's a little 2-bedroom, 2-bath little condo.
That I cannot wait to go stay at. Please. Yes, ma'am.
Also,
and thank you.
I know. I want us to go and like do a podcast in the condo. Like it's just
that is
cute.
what I'm waiting for. I literally
it.
told my husband that he's actually, you're going to get to meet him today. Like I'm so excited that you get to meet my husband today.
I'm so glad.
He left just to go have some coffee while we were interviewing, but he's going to come back.
Okay, good.
And so I told him, I was like, we'll have to rent it and go and stay, but like we'll have to go have a podcast and Wilson will have to go. Like we will have to go and have a good time.
Well, y'all please go and enjoy yourselves, but then I want us two to go too and like have a whole girls trip out of it.
Yes.
And I'm so excited to meet your husband. But yeah, it's just been one of those things like truly like consider the lilies like he clothes them. He dresses the lilies of the field. Like even like I don't even, I'm like there's so many things coming to mind. I'm like not even getting the words out, but like the way that he provides for us, if he takes care of the birds and the ravens and the lilies of the field, how much more does he care for us?
Yeah.
And it's like to see that on display and to see it like over and over again, not just with Be Still 30A, but our lives, our businesses, our hearts.
Yeah.
I'm provision. I'm pregnant now.
That's what I was going to say. So
I'm pregnant.
We are in the week that precious Lillian ascended to heaven. It's Holy Week. This is Good Friday. And I am sitting across from my girl. And Auntie B is sitting over here thinking my baby boy is coming into the world. And so literally where there has been death, but death, where is your sting? Because God is life and he has produced life and a new life. And now this precious baby boy has something a lot of little babies don't have. He has a sister in heaven who is cheering him on.
Looking out for him. I have like loved the image of like them getting to like he will be raised differently. He will think and act differently. He will believe in heaven forever. He will never fight with her. Me and my sister love each other, but we used to fight like cats and dogs as children, you know? Like we were always tit for tat and this and that. And it's like they'll never fight.
Yeah.
And like this little sweet baby, God willing, will have siblings here on earth, but will always have a sibling in heaven who will only look out for his best interest.
Yeah.
Who will only send him like loving, beautiful sunsets and kisses and cuddles from heaven.
Yeah.
Like it's so sweet. And I just view it with this lens of gratitude. Of course I'm sad to not see her in her big sister shirt here on earth and to come running in the hospital to like see us post birth. Of course we're sad. But both can coexist. Like we can be sad in that, but we can also have so much joy that she is in heaven getting the best view of all. She is getting to love and like probably mentor him now, his little spirit, his little soul now.
Yeah.
Like he will know Lillian and to
even
know
when
that
he
like
enters this earth, he will know her. Yeah.
Yes. And so I just feel so much joy that he gets to have a big sister in heaven.
Yeah.
Like he won't be this like only child, firstborn male. He has a big sister. And so we're so excited and grateful.
And for anyone that may not follow you, any of our friends that may not follow you on Instagram, that may not know your story, will you tell us a little bit about what's going to be different with this baby because of the genetic disorder that Lily Ann had? Things are a little different this time. So for anyone that may have questions in their mind, we know this. We know this baby's healthy.
Yeah. Yes. And so we pursued IVF to do all the genetic testing prior to conception or implantation. So Lily Ann, both my husband and I are recessive carriers for this gene mutation.
Had this ever even come up in either one of your families before?
No, it's so rare to even be a carrier. It's even more rare to marry another carrier.
Right.
They say like it is insane that y'all married each other.
See, so
like,
even
the doctors
though
were,
you and Wilson didn't know Lily Ann's story, or even that she had this before she was born, or even what took you back to the hospital that first time, God knew.
Oh, yeah.
And it was such an intentional process, and he knew.
Oh, I sent a friend a voice memo yesterday, just like kind of boo-hooing in the car, being like, girl, I just have to tell you how much God has used you in my life and the timing of which he knew before we knew. Like, there's so many people that have blessed us and loved on us and mentored us. But there was a sweet family I had been working for. So I'd been in their home. Like, I was like loving on them and hoping to minister to them. And it felt like almost like even in passing, the mom was ministering to me. And I didn't even really realize until I remember thinking like, oh, I'll be a like better mom because of this experience, like because of watching her parent her girls. But then fast forward, all this happens. Like, we didn't know, but God knew. God knew I need people like that in my corner, and the way they've poured into us, the way they've loved us. Their small group has been like loved on us, like, and all my friends and my small groups have too. There's by no means no comparison here. It's just one of those things. It's like the Lord knew all along and orchestrated certain relationships, friendships, weeded people in and out, the right people in, the wrong people out prior to this, so that we had the support system that we needed. So we had the love and the like provision that we needed for this season. And in our marriage, the way he went before us in our marriage, Wilson always thought it was so silly. I had us do date nights we picked Tuesday because like weekends, you always got friends and activities. And even Thursdays kind of these days, like feels like a weekend.
Like
there's
a
work things, there's events. Wednesday's church night, Sunday night could be a church night, Sunday, weekends. Yeah. Anyway, so we picked Tuesday. Monday's, first day back to work. You're exhausted come Monday evening. So Tuesday was like this random weekday that we're going to have date nights.
Yeah.
And he was down for it, but I started pulling out these question books. He's like, he'd roll his eyes every night. He's like, what are we doing? He's like, we are married. We love each other. Like, why are we asking each other silly questions? I was like, it's so good to keep getting to know each other. We only dated for a year. Then we got engaged. We're engaged for 8 months. And then we got married. And so I was like, we just want to continue to get to know each other. Like, this is like, these are questions you don't think to ask. What did your childhood bedroom look like? What posters did you put on your wall? Who were your idols? Who did you
love that. That's the books you bought?
Yes, these were the books.
I've been married 27 years, and I don't know that I've ever asked any of those questions.
Right. It's been so good. It was actually a sweet friend gifted us this and was like, it blessed her marriage. And so she had gifted it to us, and we've now finished the whole book. It's 365 questions. We'll have to put it in the show notes because I can't think of the actual name, but it's something about 365 couples questions.
Yeah.
But I have told so many married friends about it. We felt, and so now, yes, he rolled his eyes, but it's like we totally know it blessed our marriage. Like we totally know it helped us have a firm foundation. Yeah. And some of the conversations weren't fun. Like when money would come up and it'd say, what of my spending habits bother you the most? Or I don't know, whatever it asked. I was like, oh, I don't like this one. And he's like, oh, we need to talk about this. Like this is good. But it made me, here I am the one opening the book up. And then when the question would come up, I was like, maybe not today.
Let me skip that question.
Skip. But no, it made us have good, hard conversations. And now me and him honestly love talking about like finances together. Yeah. We love accountability. We love saving. We love planning. We love giving and donating. And we get to give and do those things because we're intentional now with our resources. Yeah. And because we're not shy and because we're not keeping secrets. It's a joint bank account. It's joint cards. It's joint everything. We do life together. And so in so many ways, I felt like the Lord all along was going before me in all my friendships, in my small groups, like in my marriage, like us nourishing our marriage in this way prior going on a baby moon, like having intentional time away together, away from the world, away from work, loving on one another, getting to know each other, supporting one another for when we walk through our deepest, darkest valley, we had a firm foundation. And it was Christ, obviously. Like, Christ is the rock on, like, which we stand.
Yeah.
But then to have also just, like, the Lord's who went before us and led us to do those things. He prepared us.
Yeah.
So, yeah, I'm blown away. I mean, I could go on and on and on about God's faithfulness and his provision and all, I mean.
Because you've seen his hand in his faithfulness and his provision in a time that is obviously heavy. I mean, before we even started talking this morning, you had already told me that it's just been heavy.
Yeah,
and,
this
you know,
week is,
it's been heavy. But you also, you have that hope. He's given you this hope, and he is preparing you.
Yeah.
And you've seen his hand move in so many different ways. In a year, even before this past year. But really, this past year, you have really seen God's hand move.
I think I don't know if coolest is the right word to say. The coolest thing from all this is it feels like, I remember like all the prayer journals, my whole life, all the prayer journals and all the things I've written down, all the prayers I've prayed. A lot of times, it's like, Israel, you don't see it. It's not in your lifetime you see that answered prayer. And that's okay.
Yeah.
I'm not putting God in a box. If it's for my grandchildren's, it's still worth it. It's still a good prayer.
Right.
But I have seen more of the reason why things happen. I'm getting to see the end result. Not that it's over. There's so much more to come. But I feel like things I've prayed for are things that we've like specifically prayed for daily decision making and medical decisions and this and that. And it's like we would get real answers in real time. And then we'd see the glory, like we'd see there's blessings on the other side of obedience.
Yeah.
Every time. So if we're obedient, we'd see that blessing. Obedient, see that blessing. Maybe not obedient, we'd feel anxiety. Yeah. And then we're like, oh, this isn't what he had for us, or this isn't the direction we were supposed to go. So we pivot. We call our medical team, we pivot. Or if it's in the hospital room, we'd make a decision and it didn't feel good. We started feeling anxious. We pivoted. We were going to stay wherever the peace was.
Yeah.
No matter what that, like extubating her was one of those scary decisions where the whole medical team's like, we weren't passing all the tests to extubate, but I feel like the Holy Spirit told me she was ready to be extubated. She was telling me, I mean, it was like, Mommy's here, and she'd start gagging on that tube. I'd walk out of the room, she wouldn't. She'd be fine. Mommy's in there. She's gagging on the tube. I'm like, girl, I got you.
Yeah.
Pull this tube out right now. And they were like, what? And I was like, right now. So the whole team came in. We're extubating. They're like, what if she's not breathing on her own? It's like, you're not re-intubating. If she wants to go be with Jesus, if she's telling me she wants to be extubated, then I'm going to be I'm going to honor her. And give her that dignity and that choice.
And that's hard for some people to see. But when you've spent time at the feet of Jesus, when you are spending that time before him alone in quiet time, and he's given you that peace to go before, some people may not understand that. I'm sure there are people that have asked you questions that have been hard, and people that don't know you or why you make the decisions you make, or may not believe like you believe. And it's hard for them to see why you would make the decision that you've made. But when you do have the peace of God, even in the hardest circumstances, because every decision we have to make is not always easy. Every outcome is not always easy. No. We live in a broken and fallen world where everything doesn't happen the way we had always planned. But when you know that he is with you, that he has gone before you, that he's preparing the way, and you have that peace, like you said, we followed the peace. And when
that was the Holy Spirit. We knew it.
Yeah, when you feel you're outside of that, it's like, okay, wait, back up. I'm going to pivot because he's not covering me in this. At that point, it's like, am I being obedient?
Right.
He's not
I just wanted
me.
to be at his feet. That's all. And so I knew sister would want to be too. If that's like all we want as her mom and dad, we're just trying to cling on to Jesus. We know she is too. She is a piece of us, like our DNA, our little cells. And it's like, and we both had these conversations, so how long would we be okay with being intubated? And we were past that point where either of us would have been comfortable.
It's the most beautiful picture of sacrifice for me, that you were willing to trust Jesus over your own discernment and over, because I'm almost certain that if I could imagine the decisions that we would make as mothers on our own without his wisdom and without divine clarity, without that knowledge from heaven, without that, the decisions we would make, because I would think I knew what was best. This is my baby. But at the end of the day, he loves her.
He loves her more than I could.
He loves her more than you do.
And I even know how to.
Yeah, than we could ever.
Yeah.
And his decisions are always going to be the best, no matter how hard that plan is for us.
Yeah, amen.
And it's hard for us to see that. Yeah. And I think that is so beautiful that you did follow through with trusting him over trust in yourself. Because even as a nurse.
I was about to say, the nurse in you knows, like, we're not passing our breathing test. Why would we extubate?
Why are we
I would not recommend a family to extubate. Like, we're not. But it's like, if the family truly believes in heaven and they're saying heaven is better, well then, honey, I'll be extubating the minute you say so.
Yes, like who am I then?
Who am I then to get in the way of that?
Yeah.
Yes, absolutely. And the nurses were incredible. Like, when I was like, it was shift change.
In a
the worst
secular
time
hospital.
ever.
And that is just another one of those ways, because we've both worked in the hospital. Yeah. We've both worked in ICU. We've worked with peds. Like, it's, and I have actually worked in a Christian hospital too, which was cool. And then this was obviously a secular hospital. Yeah. Like, there's not a denominational, like, I don't know. Affiliation.
Yes, thank you.
Yeah.
But it was still cool that the Lord just, like, went before us and they would put the right people in our room at the right time, or gave us just the strength to stand up to the right people at the right time.
At the right time.
It was wild. And so that's where it's like, to see God's hand, to see his faithfulness, to see his follow through. He is who he says he is. He is true to his word. He will not leave you or forsake you.
Even on our darkest day.
No. Oh, especially not on our darkest day. I mean, he is in the valley with you. He's in that den of lions. He's in the fire. He is the other person. That Holy Spirit is real. And so for us, I feel like getting to see the provision on the other side, getting to see his goodness and his kindness and the way he's so intentional to continue to love us. And like I said, give me glimmers of her. Yeah. Like, just, like, it's good.
Yeah.
Like, it's so good. And that, I could imagine, could feel crazy to hear or to listen to. And it even feels crazy to say, but I mean it.
Yeah.
Like, he's so good. And like, our loss is temporary. We will be with her for eternity. We get eternity with our baby and with Jesus in heaven.
Yeah.
And like, I can't wait for that day. And so I think just in the meantime, I just want to steward the time I have left well.
Yeah.
And love well.
To know. Yeah.
And lead well. But other than that, like, I'm just looking forward to heaven. I'm like, come Jesus, come. Like, I just don't. Yeah, I'm not like, I don't have to have a bunch of kids before Jesus comes. Like, you could come literally right now and I'd be so satisfied, so grateful.
Yeah.
Because all I really want at the end of the day is more of him.
Yeah.
Like, and I think that's where mothering and parenting and being a nurse, like, you have to need him. Like, you got to lean on him. You can't get through the day without him. Mm-mm. You know what I mean? Like, you need him. So, like, in so many ways, he gives us more of himself in mothering and in parenting and in business ownership. Oh my goodness, I have to cling to Jesus for dear life.
I know. That's something I wanted to, because you just said this is not what you would tell a family. And so I can only imagine that just when you became pregnant with Lillian versus the season you walked through with Lillian, now the year that you've walked through with Lillian in heaven in your business, it's still there. It's still the same kind of business. You still work with moms that have had babies, moms that are pregnant. How has this season affected how you see your job? And I mean, does it differ in how you like lead now and how you charge?
Oh, I'm sure it does.
Yeah.
I don't off the top of my head, like, other than how prayerful I am, and now that I see, like, I literally went to the Lord with every single decision we ever made in the hospital. Yeah. And so now I feel like I'm doing the same thing in my business, like going to the Lord about every little decision, which is like wild but wonderful too. And that doesn't mean that he never lets us make mistakes. Like, you still have to sometimes learn the hard way. Yeah. And sometimes he's still like Job. He was, a righteous man and was, a good person and loved the Lord and all these good things, and like bad things still happen to him.
Yeah.
And so I feel like by no means am I acting like I'm on a high horse saying we pray about everything and God's protecting our business. No, bad things still happen and it's still hard and people still stab you in the back and try to take advantage of your kindness and your grief. I feel like people know, like, I'm grieving and people take advantage of that, and it's like, oh, that's not great. But I'm like, they're like, I'm just like, I don't know. I just assume you can't be walking with the Holy Spirit if you're doing people that way.
Right.
But anyway, it's freaking hard. But God is kind. He is who he says. I have to depend on him every single day for my strength, for my peace. Like, I have to go where the peace is. Yeah. And so for me, it's just been in every area of my life so cool to see him carry us through and him get me through. Like,
because your business has exponentially grown.
Yes. And it's a blessing.
Yes.
But it's also that overwhelming, like, I'm so overwhelmed, but I'm so grateful. And this is like God is the one doing the doing. Yeah. I'm not over here trying to hustle and run ads and make my business more successful. He's just like...
Because now you have mamas in Florida and Nashville.
Yes.
You have mamas... excuse me. I seen this on Instagram, and this is a chat we'll have to have off air, that I seen that y'all are coming to Charleston. I was like, wait a minute. We have not had that conversation.
It's because one of my nurses moved there. And I think I told you. Like, one of my nurses moved.
Happen. Yeah.
And so I was like... I mean, if she ever wants to. And so she was like, I'm down to like at least say one night a week. Y'all can see if anybody wants it. And so far, we don't have a mama in Charleston.
Okay.
So if there's a mama listening in Charleston who wants a night nurse, our sweet nurse out in Charleston is a doll. But yeah, so we're just going to see how it goes. If people start booking her one night a week, well, then clearly she is one of my OG nurses. She can train other nurses.
Yeah.
But we're just like taking it day by day and like not putting like other than she's been trained because she used to work in Nashville, but not putting a bunch of money into it in the sense of like ads. Like we're not running ads in Charleston.
Yeah.
Like we're just going to let it be if Instagram does its thing, if word of mouth does its thing, if the Lord wants us to flourish there, we will of course be obedient and hire and grow. But right now it's just one sweet nurse who's been trained by me back in the day and has been a part of Choose Joy really from some of the beginning, like not like the first day, but early days.
Yeah.
So yeah, we've grown and the Lord has blessed it. And it was one of those things that like when everything started happening with Lillian, when we were in Vanderbilt Children's Hospital, I was like, shut it down. Like I would have been like, close the doors, refund everybody's money. We're done. But like the Lord, once again, in his kindness, went before us. He knew this was the story. Mm-hmm. So like the way we prepared for my maternity leave, it like this is one of those stories that I like just blows my mind. The Lord, so my sweet business manager at the time had a full-time, well, not at the time, so back up a little bit. Prior to, I'm big and pregnant and trying to, pray about what's next for this business and how are we going to prepare for maternity leave. And one of my sweet coworkers everyone had really been part-time. We were small, like everyone just helped me. And so she had a full-time job and I literally was like, what do you make with them? And how much would it take for me to get you to quit? Because I just felt, and so she told me the number and I'd prayed. This was like actually, I guess, way before I was big and pregnant because I'd prayed and prayed on it and thought, oh, it'll be a while for we could ever afford it. It'll be a while. And then one day the Lord said, you can afford it. It was like today. Like, I was like, really? And it was if I don't take pay. Yeah, you can. And I was like, wow. So I had this, went on a walk with Wilson and talked to my husband about it. I was like, is this something you feel like we could do? And he was like, I totally believe in like what you're doing. And I think that I can absolutely cover us for a little bit. Like we'll be conscientious in how we spend and what we do and like pull back in certain areas. But like it's worth it to bring somebody on full time so you can really enjoy maternity leave. And I was like, that's amazing because I'm off anyway. If I'm on maternity leave, I don't need paid anyway. Like it's fine. So took this leap of faith, which felt insane. Like I was like, I've never like had somebody on salary, let alone like a normal, I don't know. It just felt crazy. And the Lord in his kindness knew I would need that because if they all had other jobs and I'm in the hospital.
She probably stepped in then too, way like
when everything happened to Lillian?
Yes.
Oh, they both did. It was like two girls running the whole company and they were just Jack and Jill making it happen.
Yeah.
And it was so beautiful and so incredible. And like, the Lord went before us. We had written 55-page manuals, like handbooks, so they knew what to do if anything happened with that while I was gone. Like all these SOPs started happening because of my preparing for maternity leave. Yeah. I thought I was just preparing for a peaceful, sweet maternity leave, but the Lord knew otherwise. He knew it was about to be a dark and hard road, but He wanted to sustain Choose Joy Nursing.
And I'm so thankful that you were able to be home at that time and that you had nurses that were there for you because no matter what, you're a grieving mom.
Oh, totally.
And to walk into a home with new moms, with babies, with healthy babies, even moms with babies that were medically complicated, that were complex.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
You're still in the home with moms with babies.
Well, right. When it first happened, I didn't get to bring my baby home. And I tried, and then I had to bring her right back. I remember driving back to the hospital going, I've got to get my baby back. Like all this time, like me being this baby nurse in town, I had taken care of so many babies. I'd nannied and babysat for so many people in Nashville. And of course, you always give them their kids back.
Right.
So it's like night nursing. Every morning I'd go give mom her sweet baby back. And that's great. That's how it's supposed to be. But I remember being pregnant, being like, this is the first baby I get to keep.
I get to keep
this
one.
I was like, I get to keep this one. Like I was so excited. And then we literally get discharged. We go home. And then essentially so many hours later, turn around and drive back to the hospital. And I'm like, I have to give her back.
Yeah.
And so I was like, stop, don't say that. And I was like, no, I literally, it's like I knew, like I had to give her back to the Lord. It felt like, yes, I'm physically taking her back to the hospital, but I knew like she's the Lord. She's really not mine. And as wild as all that was, it was just, anyway, like truly though, the way that we had prepared for that quote unquote maternity leave ended up being what he wanted to sustain choose joy nursing. Even though I even wanted to close at one point, like I'm thinking, I didn't get to bring my baby home. How am I going to go take care of people's healthy babies? How am I going to go support a postpartum mom? And of course, I want them to have support. Like that is why we do what we do, and we love. And my nurses
but you're
love
human.
it.
In your
but
humanity.
I'm human. Totally in my humanity. I was like, how am I ever going to keep supporting postpartum moms? And the Lord, in His kindness, gives us what we need. Gives us the strength. Kept the doors open. Gave me the right team. Gave me the right nurses. The right admin, like just everything. We had the handbooks, we had it all ready to go so that they could work without me. I mean, I was off for months. I mean, probably 6 months I didn't work because I was either in the hospital or home with the baby on hospice, not knowing what the future held, like how much time we had with her. Like I wasn't going to risk. I did eventually get back into work. It felt like a good, like my mom, and then my mother-in-law got time with her. I got to go back to work. So a little bit. So it was like a good mix of like work and like having a little bit of an outlet. Like I loved being her mom.
Yeah. Of course. Yeah.
And like, but medical needs are really heavy. And it was a lot, and it was draining in its own way. So sometimes work felt easier than home life. And so I did at one point when she was thriving and like doing well. I was like, well, mama's going to go back to work. You're going to hang out with your grandparents. You're going to be just fine. And they're going to love it. You're going to love it. And she was so happy to see them.
And they got that time to be grandparents.
So do you remember when I threw my back out?
Yes.
This is a funny or sweet maybe story. So it was awful. I could not walk. It was terrible. I could not pick her up. She's 20 freaking pounds. She's a big baby. And so we had to have 24/7. Like Wilson had to be home, or I had to have a babysitter or a grandparent 24/7 because I couldn't pick her up. And so when she got sick and it was like her last week of life, one day I was crying all the time. But one day in particular, I remember saying there was a whole week of her life I didn't hold her. And it broke my heart. And Wilson was trying to be so sweet about it and like encouraging, like, babe, like you didn't know. And she still knew you loved her, because I still kissed her and cuddled her, but I couldn't pick her up. And I mean, I could hardly walk, let alone hold that. Like, even if I was standing and somebody gave her to me, the weight of her would like hurt my spine. So I was like, let me sit down and then somebody give her to me. But anyway, so I was crying and I was just like, oh my gosh, there's a whole week I didn't hold my baby when she was Earthside. And the Lord whispered and told me it was for them, not for you.
Yeah.
And I was like, it was for their grandparents and those sweet babysitters, and for her, for Lillian, to get the time with each other.
Yeah.
It wasn't about me. They needed that time too before he called her home.
Wow.
I mean, so kind.
That just makes you like a puddle. I mean, just to sit here and think about that, because I'm a
cared.
grandma, right?
He cared enough about that, those sweet grandma's hearts.
Yeah.
Like my mom got to stick around for bath time, which she never, we always send her home around 4 p.m. Like, oh, Wilson comes home from work. We're going to do our bedtime routine.
Yeah.
It's family time now.
Yeah, just us.
Right,
Yeah.
it's just us. And so, but because of that time, and I needed help and I couldn't do things by myself. And I don't know, I forget how it all went down, but it was like, there were times that she'd stay for bath time.
Yeah.
Or that she got to get there at 7. They probably didn't love coming at 6:30 in the morning, but I was like, y'all have to be here when she wakes up.
Right.
Like, I can't get her up. You got to be here, like, ready.
Yeah.
Because Wilson would be at the gym, and if he was home, they didn't have to be there.
Right.
But it was just like that second set of hands was crucial. I mean, and meds and pushing, just everything. Anyway.
Yeah.
It was so kind. And he cared enough about these sweet grandparents that like obviously were her family.
Yeah.
And like Lillian needed that time with them.
Yeah.
The grandparents need that time with her. And even us, our sweet babysitters, they got to like get time with her.
To love on her.
And I remember being in college and right out of school loving on people's kids. And it meant the world to me. Like it did change me.
Yeah.
And so I'm like, for whatever reason, the Lord wanted them, Lillian and them, to have that time together.
Now, one thing that I want us to talk about before we finish this conversation is you're going to get to even share more of this story with the world. And I want to talk about that for just a minute because I'm so excited. A minute ago, you were talking about admin and the things that God had given you. And all I could think about was you writing this book about my precious little baby Lillian. And so you are in the thick of it right now, writing this book, especially, we've already talked about this with it being Holy Week and how sacred and holy this feels. But I wanted to ask you this, and if it's heavy, then we can just kind of scoot around it. But does it feel does it make everything kind of fresh again? Does it break you open again? Because it's one thing to talk about her story where you are now, because this is where you've walked, but now you're having to relive her story in this book. And I think so many people, you know, when we start writing a book, especially if any of it's a memoir, like, because the book that I'm writing, you know, it's for other people, but some of it, you know, has
your story.
Yeah, has my story in it.
Right.
And so some of the areas that I share in my book are like, they're wounds, you know, they hurt and they cut really deep. And
when those are when our biggest lessons are learned.
Yes.
You know,
and
like,
it's like the times I can look back and know that God's hand was really there with me.
If it was 100%.
Yeah.
If it was all hunky-dory, one, we wouldn't have like a story to tell. And then two, there wouldn't be any like hard life lessons or character build or like stamina or perseverance or any of those things.
And that's, it broke me open. Like to sit and write those chapters just broke that open for me again. But it was like the Lord rushed in and gave me healing like all over again. It was just like a balm. And that's what I wonder, like writing this book, I know that it hurts your heart, but then also like the Lord is so sweet and kind, and it's like a balm to your soul while you're writing this too.
Yeah. No, that's exactly how it feels. It has broke me open again. It has been all like fresh wounds. Like it truly is like reliving all the details. Yeah. Like the like the nitty-gritty details of it all. And I probably haven't cried so hard as when I'd like talk through the chapters of our admission and our, you know, just different parts of her story. I mean, just boo-hooed. And it was good. It was so therapeutic. Like I needed that because I do live in his joy so much, and I'm so grateful for this joy. But sometimes I'm like, am I okay? Do I need to pinch myself?
Well, like because you have to allow yourself to grieve.
You have to grieve. And I do feel like I grieve, and it comes and goes. Like I definitely feel my feelings. We talk about feelings. We have counselors. Like we do all the things, but I'm so grateful for his joy. But sometimes I'm like, should I be sad? Shouldn't I be sad? And I am. Like, it just comes and goes. But yeah, the book writing process has like tore off some scabs. Like it has been like fresh wounds. And it's been brutal. But I always say it's brutal but beautiful. Like it's like, but there's so much beauty in it. And it reminds me of how his hand was on all of it. How he went before me in my work, how he went before me in my marriage, how he went before me with my friendships, with my business partner, like not partners, but like business relationships. Like he's truly gone before me. And so every time I would like relive some of these wounds, I get to now see, it's like that, what I was talking about a little earlier about seeing the prayer request, seeing the prayer journal have an answer. Like it's not 140 years later, or it's not 40 years in a desert or whatever it may be. It's like we're getting to see his faithfulness. I'm reliving it and seeing it then and now and throughout. Like I'm seeing his faithfulness and feeling it. So yeah, it's been hard. It's been very heavy. And then of course, as the sweet Lord would just orchestrate it, we didn't plan it this way. We had all these book meetings, we had all these recordings, all these plans. And of course we get her transcript. We got the transcript. The original, I mean, there's so many edits, there's so many processes, but the original like transcript, I got on Thursday. So yesterday.
I'm so excited.
I know, literally. So like Lily Ann's heaven anniversary is April 6th. We're going to be down at the beach. We're going to be at Be Still 38, just being still and just sitting in God's goodness and glory and grieving, but like just honoring and appreciating heaven. And like right after Easter, honoring like the Lord's resurrection and like what that meant for us and what that changed for us as Christians. And because of that is why we have the hope of heaven.
Right.
Like without Jesus' sacrifice, we wouldn't have this hope. Yeah. And so we're going to be down at the beach and just resting and being together and honoring her. And I'm going to get to take the transcript and start reading and editing.
So our third podcast will have to be when we're launching a book. Like we will have to have a launch party, like city to city. Like we are going to have to have the biggest book launch party. And we'll have to have like a live podcast episode where even like the people at your can ask questions and be there. And
be there. That would be so fun.
Yes, I know. I'm excited.
So you're the best cheerleader.
Oh, I just love you and I can't wait. So, you know, this is how we work. So before the end of our chat, we always ask just like a lightning round and ask little 5 fun questions, our final 5 before we end. So, okay, I've got to think of 5. Okay. Lauren, when she leaves her house, what is one thing that must be in her purse or she can't leave home?
Oh, a snack right now. It's because I'm pregnant, and if there's not a snack nearby, I will panic. I will pull over at a gas station if I have to. Like, I have to have a snack.
Okay, good. So a snack. Second, are you a home coffee girl or are you a coffee shop girl?
pre-pregnancy,
Yes.
home coffee all the way.
Yeah.
Like nothing.
Your pods.
Well, so my nut pods.
Your
Yes,
nut
my
pods,
marshmallow
yes.
nut pods, my smoke. It was s'mores. What do they call it? S'morey time.
Yeah.
Bones coffee. Yeah, so I'm so into that. But being pregnant now, it's like kind of an aversion. I'm not into coffee unless it's like a fancy coffee shop coffee, which is practically all milk and a splash of coffee, or like a matcha. I'm definitely, but I don't love making a matcha at home, so I'm getting a lot of matchas out and about.
Yeah. What is your number one pregnancy like support right now or tool? What is the one thing that is keeping you thriving right now being pregnant?
That's a good one. I'm still in my first trimester, but I'm starting to turn that corner. I'm 13 weeks today.
Yeah.
So I'm starting to turn that corner. But one of like my cravings, so pre-pregnancy, I was doing NAD, like big health and wellness girly.
Oh, yeah.
So like love NAD, all the peptides, all the things. That was the only one that I really tried, but I had also had it IV before. I'd had it before, so like I knew it was beneficial
That
and
peptides
helpful.
are the real deal. That'll have to be a whole nother podcast.
Oh, that can be a whole nother. We can have a whole health and wellness
Yes.
podcast. But yes, the peptides are such a love, such a jam, such a thing. And I have the worst ADHD ever. So NAD was like the way that I was gonna. Like, how's my brain going to function? And anyway, so sorry. Long story short, I was wanting NAD so bad, but it's not tested and safe for pregnancy.
Yeah.
So I found Make Wellness has plant-based peptides.
Okay.
It's powder. You stir it in. And girl, I feel like I'm back. She's back. She's glowing. She's ready. I'm less inflamed. I'm like... And there's probably not any testing out about it, but this
we
girl
will have to have
will do it. I will test it.
Yes, that's something we're going to have to talk about.
So
I'm going to
taking
have
it.
that.
Yes, you need it next.
Yes.
Girl, it's so good. So anyway, it's plant-based, so I felt safer. I was like, I'm just going to try it. There's really not any studies out to say if it's safe for pregnancy, but I'm like, it's plants. So it can't be bad. And it's like good for your body. And anyway, I read all the ingredients. I read all about it, and I felt safe. Good. I prayed about it. I felt good about it. So
we're doing it.
So we're doing it. We're moving, and I'm feeling better. Like I'm feeling good.
Thank you, Jesus.
Thank you, Jesus.
What is besides your make then, what is your number one pregnancy craving right now?
Ooh, either like smoothies is probably number one. Like I will Instacart a smoothie delivery.
Yeah.
Like if I'm too lazy to get up and make it, I will have one delivered. But also like acai bowls, I'll get delivered to my house.
Oh my gosh.
It's just so lazy and bad of me.
I'm in an acai bowl era right now.
Yes.
My husband literally.
I ebb and flow.
Right before, me too, because he's always like, the base tastes like fish. No, it doesn't. But anyway, right before I came in, because we're on this real healthy journey right now, right? Like I've lost 34 pounds. He's lost like 40. Like we are really working hard,
yes,
right? We are
that.
doing the thing right now.
Good for
and
y'all.
So he was like, okay, what we're not going to do today is get an acai bowl and call it healthy. He was like, if you want one, that's fine, but we're not calling this 1,200 calorie bowl healthy today. And I was like, okay, well,
I think
you didn't say we couldn't have one. You just said I couldn't call it
if you're
healthy.
like out in Hawaii surfing and burning
2,000
calories, like because you're surfing and you're out in the heat and the sun. That then is healthy. You're getting all these vitamins and all things and all these calories. But here in Nashville, it's just a bunch of calories.
Yeah. And let's see, number 5. Last thing. Okay, what is your number one date place right now with Wilson?
Oh, that's so good. Okay, well, our number one is home.
Yeah.
We love it in.
Yeah.
We love saying we make
Date night in. That's what we do. Yeah.
We make steaks and we have our question books and we pull out, like we do goal setting. We have our paper and so we like traditionally do Tuesday night, date night in. If we do an out date, like go somewhere, we went with a couple to, oh goodness, is it called oh gosh, something sushi. It was a sushi place on 12 South. It was divine. And you're not even supposed to eat sushi pregnant. But of course, here I am like, I got to at least try a bite. And everything we ordered, whether cooked or uncooked, was delicious.
Okay, good.
So we're not even sushi people.
See, I was going to say, my husband, he's tried it. And like, one of my kids loves sushi. My family loves it.
We're actually not.
I just, anything. Okay, I am
it has to be like the bougie sushi ever for me to be
like
into
texture
it.
person.
Okay.
And like even thinking about it right now,
you're like,
I don't know what to do with my
Wilson
hands.
doesn't actually normally like sushi, but we ended up just like going for it and ordering all these. Of course, a lot of cooked ones too for the other friend we were with is pregnant as well. So a bunch of cooked things, a bunch of appetizers, a bunch of, all the Brussels, just all the salads, all the things. And everything was good. Like even Wilson was like, we're going back, which that means a lot. You know what I mean? So That was a good. It's in 12 South. They have a little little ice cream window. Even you can get
Yeah.
matcha ice cream or like dipped. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe some type of ice cream to go. It's
I'm
so
going
cute.
to 12 South when we're done because I've got to go get a coffee. So,
Yeah. Good little.
I am so excited that you spent this time with me on Good Friday. I'm glad we had this time.
No, it's
and
always so good.
I
It's like a
know.
blessing
I hate
for me
it to be over.
I know.
Ever.
No, I always love when we're together. I'm like, I just feel like you are one of those people you don't leave drained. You like leave poured into.
Aww.
And you like, and that's probably why like everybody who listens to your podcast, like what comes back for more because it like fills their cup. It's like a good dose of like hope and heaven and like joy and Jesus. And it's so good. It's so good. I love when I get to spend time with you.
I'm so thankful for our friends listening. If you heard anything that Lauren and I have said today, I just pray that you heard and were able to hold on to the hope of heaven. And if you already know and love the Lord and have a relationship with Him, that it just would bring you closer to Him. And if you've been listening today and you don't know the Jesus that we're talking about and you don't have that relationship or know Him in that way, I just pray that you would seek Him today, that you would seek His face. And it's not anything that has to be orchestrated. You could literally be in one of the hardest days of your life and just say that you need Him and He will be there. And otherwise, I will put the date book in our show notes. And I'm so thankful you all listened in with us today. And until next time, we love you all. Bye.
For so many reasons, this conversation is so sacred because I think it reminds us that faith isn't proven in perfect circumstances. It's formed in the middle, in the tension, in the questions, and in the places we would have never chosen. Lauren, thank you so much for your honesty, your courage, and for letting us step into something so deeply personal. And thank you for listening. And if you're carrying grief or fear or a story that doesn't look the way you thought it would, you're not alone. And you don't have to rush your healing to still be held by God. So let me leave you with this. May you find the courage to keep showing up, even here. May you feel God's nearness in both the joy and the sorrow. And may you know you are still being held, even in the places that ache. And if this conversation met you in a tender place, would you do us the biggest favor and share it with someone who might need it too? And if you haven't already, you can follow the show and leave a review. Those stars mean more than you could ever know. It helps more people find conversations like this, and the ones that remind us they're not alone either. And if you want more spaces like this where we talk about real faith in real life, you can find me on Instagram at Brandy A. Dawson or over on Substack at Brandy Dawson. And the newsletter is Musings of Grace. I'm really grateful you're here. Until next time.